Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tel K Ganesan, moderator for this session.
Manoj, you talk so much about common sense, but in the world that we live in, that's not common. How do we deal with that?
The funny part is, I think that most everybody has common sense. They just try to bury it.
Okay.
And the older you get, the more information you get, the more fashion you get, the more you bury it.
Okay.
For example, I'll give you an example of what I think is, one of the things I think is everybody should stay away from fashion. You know, for example, if you go to Silicon Valley, everything is an ecosystem. Did you think 10 years ago we didn't have any of those concepts? Now, you're not allowed in
Sure.
Silicon Valley to say 3 sentences without the word ecosystem in there. You know, or today, there's lots of stuff like that. Today it's disruption. Really? You know? And really, in the end, you try to make a product that your customer needs, and you try to make it at a lower cost than he can buy it for. I don't know what disruption means. I mean, but these jargon things destroy common sense. When you think of just simple approaches, it's simplicity, it's a discipline to go simple.
So I want to take you back before you started 5-Hour Energy. Obviously, you sold your plastic company.
Yeah.
You pretty much retired. What prompted you to go and to pursue this 5-Hour Energy at the time?
There's a few things. One, I found out that if you really work hard, most of your life, you can't just stop.
Okay.
You know, it's not possible. So I retired for about a month, and that was driving me crazy. So
Just
I said,
a
okay,
month?
you know, that's all it took.
Okay,
I was
all right.
climbing the wall, so I figured, okay, I'm going to go out and do something again. You know, and of course the punishment for trying to retire was that I've got at least 8 businesses, charities, invention shop. I've got 12 projects running at one time.
Sure. So now you made so much of wealth. In fact, you have given 99% of your wealth. After accomplishing all this thing, what still keeps you going on a daily basis? And where do you get your energy from?
Okay, I'm not going there. Right. Well, all I do is get up in the morning, and I think for most of us is if you get up in the morning and do something useful,
Okay.
it makes your day better, makes your life better. You know, there was somebody who said, there's only one thing you can do 8 hours a day, and that's work. If you try to goof off 8 hours a day or play golf or whatever it is, after a while, it's painful.
Okay.
Right? So, and then working for what? I don't have expensive hobbies. I don't really like, I think I insult people. So in the speech I said, if I'm just going to buy toys, what am I, 5 years old? I don't want toys. If you don't want that, then you say, okay, what can I do that's useful? Well, the only thing useful really is to serve those who have less than you. What else is there? And so I get up in the morning and, I love work. That's my hobby. That's my, but in order to be really interested in it, you have to know that your life has some purpose.
Purpose.
There's something that you do that, now, none of the other motivations have any interest for me. For example, I have no interest in inspiring anybody. None whatsoever. I don't care. I don't care if anybody helps me or not. I don't care. Whether anybody acknowledges that I'm doing great things, I especially don't care. My job is real simple. I keep it really simple, which is my job is to serve those customers, which I call customers. That's it. The rest of it is just fluff.
That's true. So you talked about, learning from the mom and listening to your speech. You seem to be, everything is so simple for you. Where did you get that simplicity in you, Manoj, in spite of accomplishing all these things? You still seem to be very humble. You display a lot of humility. No, you're not?
No.
Okay.
I think humble is something that is usually dishonest. Whenever people say, I'm humbled by this honor, I was like, no, you're not. I just try to be straightforward. You know, I know, I think I have certain skills,
Sure.
and I like work, and I just do those. I don't know what humility is, so I don't understand it. I mean, is it being false or is it being honest? You know, I think being honest is more important. I don't know what people say. Somebody's humble. Does that mean they're pretending, or are they? It's just way beyond my, you know, it's above my pay grade. I don't understand.
Okay, that's good. So the last question for you, Manoj, you know, I know you talked so much about the MBA jargons, so on and so forth, and these guys getting so complicated. What do we do with all these B schools that they charge so much of money and so many professors are involved? I mean, what do we do with them?
Well, no, I mean, look, large corporations really value that.
Okay.
That kind of knowledge. And if you want to get a job, and that's you know, I would recommend for most people not to get into business. They should just get a job because, you know, it's one of those, the kitchen's really hot, you know, and that old saying, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen.
Absolutely.
So if you have a job, then they require that. And it's sort of like a stamp of approval on your forehead that says, okay, now I'm qualified for this job. And the guys who hire perpetuate this thing, right? So instead of the old system, which is an apprenticeship,
Sure.
it's gone from apprenticeship to I read books, I take tests, and now I'm qualified. Which, okay, you know, that's their opinion. This is my opinion. I'm sure some people, there's lots of people who say, okay, Manoj, you're not that smart. And I totally agree with you.
So what do you suggest to some of the entrepreneurs who are successful, but they still want to pursue MBA? What do you want to tell them from your experience?
Well, from my experience is, you know, do your business. You know, if at this point, if you're already doing business and you want an MBA, it's a great hobby, have at it. That's it.
Okay, very good. You're so simple. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining JICON.